My day-to-day life is under attack by statistics that I gotta crack. Can't forget about algebra and memorize tax, so I love.
Alright, let's go over 8.31, finding the population standard deviation. I asked you guys to annotate what you know. Class, this capital N there represents the? Good, count. The official name is the population. Let's just write pop. And then / count. Okay? How many people have been counted? Alright, we just wrote down this one. This is the U with the long tail on the left. This is called what? What did we write above? It represents the average or mean. Okay, how about this little 2 in the upper right? That's called what? That's called a square to the power of 2. Okay, this one's going to be new. XI. Does anyone know what that is? Okay, this represents a individual data point. Individual data point. Okay, this backwards flat E. What is it? It tells you to add them, summation. And the last one, this is a lowercase sigma. It's an O with a tail. This is your population standard deviation. Green chairs. What is this symbol called?
Sigma.
It is sigma. That is right. If you want to, you write sigma. Oh, did you see the difference between the two? They both have sigma. This one has a power of 2 squared. Well, what's the difference? If I square this one, if I put a power of 2 and I put a power of 2 on this side, the radical goes away and you're left with this. So, blue chairs, this one is called summation. That's actually, can I teach you guys some Greek? I don't know much Greek, but I looked it up. This is a capital letter sigma, and this is a lowercase sigma. The silly thing is they don't really look like each other. Orange chairs, what is this one called? Individual data points. We're going to do an example. Green chairs, what is this one? That is mu, that's what it's called in Greek, but in math, what do you have to do? That is your average or mean. And red chairs, the last one here at the bottom, this is your what? That is our population or count. Okay? So what's the difference? One of these is called population variance. This is going to be a very big number. This one, because you're going to take the square root of everything, it'll be a small number. Okay? Alright, let's do an example. Example number 1, the ages of my kids. Long time ago, I only had 4 kids, and their ages were 1, 3, 5, and 7. The question is, what is the standard deviation? So we're going to be doing this formula. Let's break it down into a couple of steps. Okay? Step number 1, we need to find the mean. What are you finding? You need to find the mean of these numbers. With your partner, you're going to have 60 seconds to do that. I would do it like underneath right here. Okay? Find the mean. Orange chairs. How do I find the mean? You add what? You add them all up? So tell me what to write. 1, 3, 5, 7, and what do you do between them? What math operation between them? Sum. Divided by what number? There are 4 kids. Your answer is what? 16 divided by 4, which is 4. Raise your hand if you got the mean to be 4. It sounds so easy, but you would show me all of that work to prove to me you understand it versus getting it through unmoral ways. Okay. Step number 1, we found the mean. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a chart. So there's lots of space on the other side. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is the individual data points, xi. x1 is the first kid and their age is 1. x2, x3, x4. Class, what is the age of the first kid? 1. Bianca, age of the second kid? X2 is what? 3. Jonah, X3. Yeah, you're writing this down. Yep. A-Marie, X4. 7. We just wrote down each of the data points is that they're each of the kids' age. Okay? That's what I did up here in xi. Now we're going to subtract it by the mean. Take the value and subtract it from the mean. Carrie Ann, we found the average or the mean for the kids. What was the average? We added up all the values, right? 16 divided by 4 is 4. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take the x1 value, which is 1, and we're going to subtract it by 4. Class, 1 minus 4 is -3. Alright, right now we're doing step number 2 is calculate the deviation. Write the word deviation. This second step here is what I'm highlighting in green. Red chairs. What do I write here? What number? 3 minus the mean, which is what number? 4. Class, 3 minus 4 is -1. Green chairs. What do I write here? 5 minus 4 is 1. Blue chairs. What do I write here? 7 minus 4 is 3. Number 3, we're going to square. Class, what are we going to do? Square the deviations. Okay, let me show you what squaring looks like. You're basically going to take your answer from this column, and I'm going to write the formula again in the next column. Xi minus the mean squared. And basically I'm just going to square each of the results. So take this number and square it. So put it in my calculator. Take 10 seconds with your partner. Which one of these is the correct evaluation of -3 squared? Okay, if you're not sure, -3 squared means -3 times negative 3. The answer is positive 9. So the bottom one is correct. This one is incorrect. The reason why is the calculator is reading the order of operations, PEMDAS. They're squaring it. So 3 squared is 9, and they're taking the multiplying by negative 1. So they think the answer is negative 9. That'd be incorrect. It's really negative 3 times negative 3. What is negative 1 squared? Positive 1. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. Class 1 squared? And 3 squared. Okay, we just squared the deviations. Step number 3 is we need to add them up. Adding them all up, partner A tell partner B a vocab word for adding them up. It's a vocab word we wrote down above. Class on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Summation. Okay, let's go ahead and add them up. And again, the goal is we're trying to find standard deviation, population standard deviation, and it's this formula. So essentially, this is what we're doing right now. We are finding the square root of the sum of the numbers in our list. Class, when you add all of these up together, you get what number? 20. And then how many kids did I have back then? 4. Okay, this has been causing a lot of students some problems today. So let's go over to number 5. So we got the summation. The summation is 20. I got that by adding up all these numbers. Number 5 says to divide the answer by, can you scratch that off for me? It should say divide the answer by n, capital N. Class, how many kids do I have in that list? 4. So this number right here, we are dividing by 4. Okay? Class, 4 goes into 20 how many times? 5. And then the last step, take the, everyone say, square root. Okay, let's find the square root on your calculator. I'll use the scientific calculator here. There are opposites, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and now you have the square root and the power of 2. These are opposites. Some calculators, you'll press the square root button first, then the 5. Some calculators, you have to press 5, then the square root button. If your calculator does what mine just did, you want to press S to D, standard to decimal. And if I round to the nearest hundredth, partner B tell partner A, what is the answer to the nearest hundredth? 2.23 or 2.24? It is 2.24. So we take the square root here, and my answer is approximately 2.24.
We love math A. Every time we divide, we already know the path A. Then we multiply, all we gotta do is roll the die A.